Let me introduce myself. My name is Marlene, affectionately known as Bully One Daughter. I had planned for this memorial service. I was anticipating with zeal to attend this service. However, something happened to me that was beyond my control. Therefore, I had no choice but to cancel my flight. Henceforth, that is why I'm sending a voice note with my tribute. Who is Clifford George Francis, A.K. Nash? As for me, he is the number one greatest uncle of all times globally. The characteristics of the man himself. I have chosen 10 words that depicted the man's character, and I also categorized them. He was extremely giving, caring, and sharing to everyone, family or strangers, as long as you are in need. He always executed tranquility, humility, and benevolence. And he was consumed with integrity, unity, peace, and love. Let's talk about love, the love he had for his family. He was the epitome of who a great family-oriented man was. And let me give you an example. On one occasion, he visited my home late afternoon. I said to him, "Uncle Clifford, you look so tired." And he said to me, "Yes, my niece, I am tired because I left out from 6 a.m. this morning." Then I said to him, "And you just reached here now?" And he said, "Yes, because I visited 4 other siblings before I came here. And I have one more to go in Ocho Rios after I leave here." So I said, "Wow, that's a lot." And then he said to me, "My niece, I wish I was a rich man." And I said to him, "Why did you say that?" And he said, "I would buy a big lot uptown and I would build houses for all my siblings." Then I said to him, "Even the ones in foreign countries?" And he said, "Yes, you would ask them to pack up and come home." Then I said to him, "That sounds great, uncle, and you could name it the Francis Villa." And he said, "My niece, you're so smart. That's a very nice name." Yes. So I'm telling you guys that how much he cared and think about all his siblings. As a matter of fact, he was the only Francis family that took the time out to visit all his siblings to get to know his nieces and nephews. And I say that with no apology because it is reality. When he's also visiting, he never comes with his hands empty. He always brought bags and monetary gifts. That's the person my beloved Uncle Clifford was. Let's talk about some of our memories. In August 1971, he came to visit my home and he said to me, "This is the day I was waiting for, where we can have real conversations." So as a little girl, I sat and ready to listen and to converse with him. Then he said to me, "It all started when you were 3 weeks old. I came to visit you, and when I entered the room and saw you laying on that bed, and my eyes looked on this pretty little girl with her nose straight like an arrow, I instantly fell in love. I even called my brother into the room and I said to him, 'My brother, who does she look like more, me or you?' And he said that my dad said to him, 'You're my brother and we look alike. So of course she's going to look like you also.' And he told me ever since that day, every time he visited, they always argue about which one of them I look like more. And it is true, because as a little girl growing up, I used to hear them talking about that. And to be honest, that also helped to build my self-confidence as a child. I can assure everyone that when a child is loved, it helps who you are later on in life. Because for me, I have so much self-esteem, very high self-worth, and I'm a very confident woman. And it's all because of the love that I received from those two men, Clement and Clifford Francis, my uncle and my dad. Yes. So after he said that to me, he said, "I have something else to tell you." I said, "Okay." He said, "Our mom died when she was 33 years old, and we were all children." I said, "Yes, I heard that story over and over." And he said, "Okay." He said, "Well, anytime I personally think about my mom, I always have to come and visit you, my niece." So I said to him, "Why is that?" He said to me, "Because you are the only grandchild that look just like her grandmother and even has her color. I said to him, "Don't say that, uncle." Then I see he was baffled when I responded, and immediately I corrected myself. And I said to him, why I just said that is because my grandfather is half white. He then called my mother for confirmation. And of course she came and she told him, yes, her dad is half white. His father is from England. So the Duncan name is from England originally. Then my mom went back to the kitchen and we continued our conversation. We continued our conversation. Yes. Then he said to me, my niece, I have a special love for you. In fact, the love tripled. I love you like a mom. I love you like a daughter. And I love you like a niece. Now, just imagine, guys, as a little girl, and you heard those words coming from your uncle's mouth. Now, that was very deep and touching for me. Henceforth, ever since that day, I have that special love for him deep down in my soul that only he and I understand. And that's the day I also started calling him my beloved Uncle Clifford. So now you understand it, guys. Now you know why I love him so much. It doesn't stop there. Because he wanted all of his siblings to see what he saw in me. Whenever I meet any of them for the first time, he always directed a question. For example, when I met Aunt Miracle for the first time, after embracing each other, what did Uncle Clifford do? He asked her, who is standing in front of you? And Aunt Miracle replied, my brother Bully daughter. Uncle Clifford then said, you don't get the drift. And then he said, who does she look like to you? And then my Aunt Miracle looked at me from head to toe and said, she looks just like our mother. And then Aunt Miracle turned to Bully and said, my brother, you and your wife rebirthed our mother. But it had to be you because our mother loved you so much. You were her favorite child. And then they started to laugh about it and started to chit-chat about childhood days. And that's the same thing Uncle Clifford did to all the other siblings, with the exception of Uncle Lloyd. When I met Uncle Lloyd for the first time, when he came from the United States of America to visit, Uncle Clifford said to him, my brother, I know you do not know your mother because she died after giving birth to you. He said, however, I want you to take a good look at your niece. And I want you to keep her image in your head. because she is the only grandchild that looks just like her mother. Then my Uncle Lloyd jokingly said to me, "Nice to meet you, my mom." And then he hugged me and embraced me for a while. And then he held on to my hand and never let go through the duration of this stay and that day. And that was deep for me also. So you see, my Uncle Clifford take the time out to let all his siblings saw what he saw, and that is their mother in me. And for that, I'm very appreciative, and I will never ever forget those memories. I'm going to share a stunt that he played too, and one of his aunts. Whenever Uncle Clifford is going to St. Anne's Bay to look for Aunt Thelma, Uncle Lou and Aunt May, he always come and pick me up and take me along. So my father usually take me to see Aunt Thelma and Uncle Lou very frequently because they always tell him, never come and visit without taking that pretty little girl of yours. So my father always make it his point of duty to carry me with him. However, because Aunt May was living farther away, he never took me there. So on this day when Uncle Clifford came, it was my first time meeting Aunt May. So upon arrival at her home, she said to him, "Wow, your daughter looked just like you." And then Uncle Clifford said to her, "Everywhere we go, people said that." And he kept it that way for the duration of the stay. Until we were ready to leave, he said to her, "Aunt May, I was just pulling your legs. This is Bully One daughter." And she said, "Oh my God, well, she can pass for your daughter at any time because she really, really looked just like you." And then she said, "As a matter of fact, you and your brother Bully look just alike. It's just that Bully's a little taller than you, Clifford. So, of course, she will also look like you." And that gives me confirmation that I am truly a replica of my grandmother. I must say, Uncle Clifford had asked me to execute certain wishes that he requested upon his death. I did accomplish some. However, because of my absence due to what happened to me, which is beyond my control again, as I said before, I won't be able to execute the other wishes. But I just want to say, guys, know you all, know and understand the bond between my uncle and I. And as he go now and tarry with his siblings and ancestors, may his soul rest in eternal peace until we meet on the other side. I hope everyone have a great and memorable day at this memorial service. Thank you for listening. God bless you all.